one less GPU core than the standard iPhone 16. So it is the same A18, same neural engine, but one less GPU core for the budget phone. No MagSafe. Okay, so it does have wireless charging up to 7.5 watts, but no MagSafe magnets. And the phone has Apple's first in-house designed cellular modem that they're calling the C1. Got some exciting, thrilling new breaking news this week. The most innovative and unique and I can't even do this. There's a new iPhone. It's the 16E. So it's actually not the SE anymore.
Yeah.
Big change. 16E. I think that makes sense. Didn't SE stand for special edition at one point?
Yeah.
But then it was just the budget iPhone, so now it's just the 16E. Cool. This completes the iPhone 16 family, as Tim Cook put it. It is about what we expected. I mean, we saw some of the leaks, and now we have the official specs and everything that's new. Here is a quick overview before I get reactions from everyone. It is, in fact, the newest chip, the A18. It does have enough RAM to run Apple Intelligence. Great. That's baseline stuff. It has a 6.1-inch screen. It's an OLED. It has a notch with Face ID, so the home button is gone. It's just Face ID, no Touch ID. It does have black or white matte colors. It does have an action button, no camera control. 48 megapixel single camera on the back, and one less GPU core than the standard iPhone 16. So it is the same A18, same neural engine, but one less GPU core for the budget phone. No MagSafe. Okay, so it does have wireless charging up to 7.5 watts, but no MagSafe magnets. And the phone has Apple's first in-house designed cellular modem that they're calling the C1, which apparently has been in development for a really long time. It's supposed to be super efficient. I would love to test this. They're touting a 26-hour video playback battery life, which is on par with the latest generations of iPhones. And it's $599 for 128 gigs. It starts at $599.
Yikey.
So, initial thoughts on this. I think a lot of people, including myself, immediately reacted to the price. Whoa, $599. That's a big jump from the last two. I don't know if you remember, the last two SE iPhones were $399 and $429.
Yeah.
So this goes beyond $499 all the way up to $599 starting. And it does obviously improve a lot of things from the last cheap SE. It's not Lightning anymore. It's USB-C. It's Face ID. It's an OLED. There's all these things that are updated. But it is still, I mean, you could frame it as this is still $599 for a 60 hertz base iPhone that has a single camera and doesn't do anything special. Like, why is it $599? Tariffs, of course, are going to come into play here. This is the first, I guess, new iPhone where we have to consider that.
True.
Yeah, I'm curious what the biggest surprises were. To me, honestly, MagSafe missing seems like the biggest miss.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people associate the iPhone with having MagSafe, and I guess that's pretty classic Apple to go, yeah, not the cheap one. Everyone else gets it, not the cheap one.
That is wild.
But yeah, like the MagSafe thing, it still has wireless charging. You just can't line up magnets.
But it's also 7.5 watts instead of 15 because no MagSafe. Every iPhone since the iPhone 12 has had MagSafe.
Except the SE.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the SE still doesn't have it.
Ellis's
MagSafe.
MagSafe Mini.
12 Mini even. Yeah, MagSafe. But not on the SE. So that is, I think, probably the biggest miss.
That's wild.
I think the biggest X factor question mark is clearly the C1 chip. We don't know if that's going to be some incredible improvement. They'd been using Qualcomm modems in the past, for context. Is this going to be some huge battery life improvement that we see continue on future iPhones? Are they going to make a bigger deal about this in future iPhone keynotes? Is there some signal improvement that I should expect? Like we just have to test it. I don't know what to expect from the C1.
The C1 is like a lot of the 5G modem, but it does not include millimeter wave. So not that really anyone was using millimeter wave that frequently.
Yeah.
But you can't use millimeter wave data. Which the question then becomes, do they use millimeter wave for like precision finding with the AirTags? Or is that
might be
something else?
I actually don't think that's through the cellular modem though.
That's not through the cellular modem.
So it might not matter.
Okay.
But they might start using the C1 to do that where they weren't before. That's the thing, is I don't know. I have to test and figure out like what things work better, what things are more efficient. TBD. So that's the X factor. The things that we know are going to be good are it's the cheap iPhone with the newest chip, the A18. It's going to be probably the most powerful on paper $599 phone. It's probably going to be a solid camera for a $599 phone. It usually is.
The cheap in there is relative and so much more relative now because it's just so much harder calling this the cheap iPhone at $600, especially when the iPhone 16's at $799, $200 more. That's a crazy jump. That just
it's a big jump from where we came from.
Does it make any of you guys scared for Pixel 9a?
Like it'll go way up in price.
Like that'll take a jump like this?
I don't think so.
$429 was super reasonable.
Right. $429 was way more obviously the budget iPhone when it's half the price of the base iPhone.
And that was cheaper than it came out a few years ago.
It was years ago though.
Yeah.
So it is $25 a month financing for 2 years.
That's how most people in the US are going to see it.
Which is how most people in the US see this. The iPhone 16 base is $33 a month for 2 years. So it's it's literally the difference of $8. And for that, you are now missing the dynamic island, MagSafe,
ultra wide
camera, and I think that's it.
A GPU core,
telephoto,
a GPU core.
No telephoto on the base.
There's no telephoto on the base.
Yeah,
$8 a month, so $8 a month. I guess you could get a cheap streaming service for that price.
Yeah.
Maybe Phoebe or Didu or something. I don't know. But
it's an interesting phone. I kind of am already starting to form my opinions because at a software level, we kind of already know what the iPhone is. Like we're not expecting some new crazy features to come with this. We know what Apple Intelligence is already. We know what iOS 18 is already. We know what that looks like on an A18. We know what that looks like on a 6.1-inch OLED. It's just strip out some of these features. Is this phone still for you? I think there's obviously a group, especially people who watch Waveform and who are really into tech. There's a group of people who are going, you're telling me $600 for a phone with a 60 hertz display in 2025? Is that a joke? Are you making fun of us? Of course that's a terrible deal. And people like that, this phone's not for you. But there's a whole separate group of people who are like, what's the cheapest, smallest iPhone I can get that's brand new, that's going to have 5, 6, 7 years of software support? Give me that one. This is the phone for you, even if it's not $400, it's $600 this time, but this is still the correct answer to that question. So whether or not this is the phone for you kind of depends on who you are. And yeah, we just now know what the phone is.
I'm curious because the iPhone SEs traditionally have not sold that well. So I'm wondering if making a more expensive phone is making them more likely to sell well. It probably shouldn't, but
I have a question that kind of can piggyback on that.
Yeah.
Do you think part of the reason it doesn't sell well is because of the inconsistency of when it releases? Because we don't get them every year.
I think it's because of carrier plans.
Okay.
I think it's because people don't care about the difference between a few bucks a month and they just get the better one.
Yeah. The Pro Max for the past year or two has been the best-selling version, at least in the US. That says a lot.
Yeah.
So
the reason I asked that is because, first of all, I think iPhone 16e is the better naming scheme, even if we've gotten used to SE.
I agree with you.
And that's what we did.
Yep.
My question about that is if we've now introduced this into the same number of the current lineup of phones, is this an every year release now?
That's a great question. If that was true and they were also releasing an Air for the 17, they would have a lot of models.
Agreed.
Even in the grand scheme of things, it's a lot for the iPhone, but it's still not that much. Like, look at Samsung. Like, if iPhones next year are 17, 17 Plus, 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max, 17 Air, and 17e.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot. But then you look over at Samsung, and they're like, we have a phone at every price from $90 to $1,700 at increments of 10. And they all have different names.
Yeah.
They're A series, they're Z series, they're Galaxy S series. So I could see it.
The one market that they're not really hitting right now where they could really dominate if they wanted to is the pay-as-you-go market, because that's where Samsung really, really tracks. The reason that the A series Samsung phones are so insanely popular is because they're sold at Boost Mobile as pay-as-you-go phones.
Yeah, they are much cheaper though.
Way cheaper. Yeah, really cheap. Really cheap.
They'll go plastic, they'll go $229.
I don't think Apple wants to really compete in that market because you have to make pretty low quality stuff.
I have a question for you guys. This is something Harper asked me and I was stumped. Should you get this phone or an iPhone 15?
15?
Regular
not Pro.
15?
I'll tell you
Regular
what
15.
Apple would say, and then I'll tell you what I would say.
Regular 15?
like a base 15.
Yeah, base 15, not
Yeah.
Pro, regular 15.
Apple would say you don't get Apple Intelligence with the base 15. That's what Apple would
You
say.
don't get Apple Intelligence with this one either.
No, you do. You do.
I thought
No,
it's
you do.
still rolling out.
No, you
16E.
well, well,
That's what I'm saying.
Two different things. Yeah.
Yeah, 15 is never getting Apple Intelligence. 16E has enough RAM. It has Apple Intelligence.
it has an action button.
What I would say is,
I get this.
how much do you care about the two things that are like meaningfully different to the experience? The ultra wide camera and one extra year of software updates. Like those are the things that are maybe meaningfully different. MagSafe. How much do you care about those
Oh,
things?
I love Max. Oh,
I know.
And I think if you do care about those things, you should get the 15 because you can get it for as cheap, probably less.
Right now, if you bought it straight from Apple, it's $699 versus $599.
yeah, it's $100 more for a 15.
For a brand new 15 today.
yeah,
Because they discontinued the 14. So the
Yeah.
cheapest. Okay, so a 15 is $699,
but it has
and that gets you an ultra wide,
the dynamic island, ultra wide,
Dynamic
MagSafe,
island.
one less year of software, no Apple Intelligence, which could be a plus. But and it has the action button.
And
Wait, does it?
no,
Oh,
15
no.
doesn't.
Wait,
So-
did they really just announce the action button?
The 16. Oh no, sorry, that
No.
15 did have
The
it.
15 Pro
camera
had the
controls.
action
Oh, only the Pro had it.
Oh,
Is that true?
let me look it up. Oh, the 15 Pro had the action
Yeah,
button.
yeah, I
The
don't think the-
15
just
did
the
not
Pro?
have it. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want an action button, you got to get the 16E.
I do
So-
like the action button.
Are you a? Yeah, I guess you won't know unless you start using a phone if you actually care about the action button.
That is the
$100
thing.
less.
Yeah.
Apple needs like one of those like what Marvel character are you quizzes for the very specifics
that's
of
what
which
my
thing
video
you
is gonna
need,
be.
and that's like find the perfect person for the iPhone
Yeah.
16e that wouldn't rather have an iPhone 15, wouldn't rather just go to the iPhone 16 regular.
Yeah.
Or buy a used iPhone 15 for way less money.
If you need, yeah. If
You
you're
know
not
who-
paying on the monthly dollar amount.
You
Yeah.
know who this is for? When I worked at Best Buy Mobile, there were people that would come in with like a really old 6-year-old phone and just be like, give me the cheapest, newest one.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's who it's for.
the cheapest,
That's
newest
for.
one.
I could also see this being for the company that wants to buy everyone work phones and at $200 cheaper for every single phone, and you're buying
The
X
E is for
amount.
enterprise.
Oh no.
There we go.
Oh no, isn't it always for enterprise?
or education.
Wow. Oh. I think it's for expensive.
It's for eggs. That's why it's overpriced.
I thought it was for Ellis.
Yeah.
Ellis.
Yeah. we will get our hands on this phone. We will test it. We will review it. Stay tuned, of course, for those thoughts. But yeah, iPhone 16e, that is out.
Yo, thanks for watching this clip. People who really pay attention to Waveform may have noticed I wore the same outfit 2 weeks in a row, which makes me a loser.
Hey.
Oh no, David never repeats. Let's be real. But if you want to see David and I wear the exact same outfit next week, there's one way to do that, which is like and subscribe.